Hello YouTube, this is Mr. Biohack. This is my second video response to Mr. BigCityTexas45, I believe, and a little bit more clarification on his friend or my friend or whoever with $1,000 and where should you start. So I want to kind of give you a little bit how I think you should start. You have $1,000. Okay, so what I would do and what I would advise him to do is to get about a week's worth of water. I like these. It has a thicker plastic and they stack, and a lot of time the regular retail price for this Ozarka water is about $1.30. A lot of times at different stores in my area, and I tell my friend this, we have them on sale for about 40 cents to 50 cents, and when that happens I go buy about 30 of them at a time. So just tell him to try to at a beginner you want 1 gallon per person per day. Okay, and I would start off by going to hopefully catching it on sale and buy a week's worth of water, and then I would recommend 2 weeks worth of food, because a lot of times, and just like we had a hurricane here, I never did a follow-up video on that, but I'll explain later on my other channel why. I would suggest getting 2 weeks worth of foods that are pretty much already cooked, that you would just need to warm up. For instance, if you notice right here, I have tea candles. Okay, get some tea. You want to start simple. You don't want to, you have $1,000. You want to stretch that as far as possible. So go for 2 weeks worth of food. Okay, with the assumption that this guy is going to keep on prepping and has decided that he's going to take it serious and devote in his budget money for continuing to build his preps. So you want to get something like with a long shelf life, like the Dax Ham, Ensure. Now these little Ensures right here have 350 calories. That's 350 calories right there. They will store for about 2 years or more. Expiration is usually about 2 years. Shelf life probably goes beyond that. Spam, okay. Your favorite canned soup. I got tuna here. Okay. Just a lot of things, a lot of variety of things that you can, foods that are already cooked. You can get the Uncle Ben's rice that comes in those little pouches that are already cooked. About 2 weeks worth of food for you and your family. And since you're just starting off and you don't have a lot of money to initially put down, I would go with 2 weeks of food that you just warm. You don't have to warm up, kind of like in my bug out bag. Foods that you don't have to warm up or cook. It's already cooked, but you could warm it up easily with like these little tea candles. Emergency lighting. Start off with some candles like these Sterno emergency candles. You need good flashlights, maybe 1 or 2 good flashlights with some extra batteries. Okay, matches, a way to start a fire, to light the candles. Matches. Okay. Also, another way for emergency lighting, I've seen this before. You can buy these for sometimes like $1 a piece at Walmart, and whenever electricity goes out, you pop them in the ground, right? I would get at least 10. Put them all out there together, or 5. A lot of times you can unscrew the top like this. It works just like a candle without creating a flame. If you have kids, you put about 4 of those in a central location. It produces quite a bit of light. And it really works great if you have kids, because that's less likely, it should reduce the risk for fires. Also, don't forget about the kids. Crayons and paper and coloring books that you can get like at the dollar store. Those crayons cost like 75 cents. A good multi-tool, okay? A cheap little Red Cross solar-powered wind-up radio to keep you informed. Okay. Also, to add to your week's worth of water, at least get one of these, because this will filter up to 100 gallons of water. Okay. And those are about $17. Extra cash. Save some of that cash for extra cash, like, in case, something happens. You may need some extra cash to, who knows. Your favorite drink. For instance, if you like coffee, get instant coffee, because again, you want stuff that you don't necessarily have to cook or warm up. I'm not a big coffee drinker. This is for my barter, but my friend loves coffee, so he would get some instant coffee, or get some your favorite drink mix to go in water, because water will get boring after a while. Okay, just straight water. I mean, of course, it's better than not having water. First aid kit. Get a couple cheap first aid kits. A lot of times these first aid kits come with antibiotic cream, they come with Tylenol, they come with Motrin, and the basics to hopefully get you by some type of disaster, weather or something. Educate yourself. Go buy some books. You can go to Sam's. You'll be surprised. Amazon has a lot. I really recommend this book, guys. Awesome book by Miss Peggy Layton. I highly recommend it. Let's look at some alternative ways to fight infections and to alternative type therapies, foods that cure. Just educate yourself, okay, to the new lifestyle that you are undertaking to prepare your family for whatever you're preparing it for. A way to clean your hands. Soap. You notice right here, Clorox wipes. See these? You get this at the dollar store. These things are really cheap. All right. Now, by this time, a good knife. Let's see, what else am I missing? I got some tea back there. A lot of this stuff is personal preference. Okay. This is just a very few of the things I have. You notice here I got guns. Now, I'm not saying to go buy guns with the initial $1,000. What I'm suggesting is a lot of times you can go and these guns are unloaded. They're not loaded, and I'm not going to be touching them. So I'm not going to do a safety check. Just take my word that they are not loaded. Okay. For instance, I have a Ruger SR9C to my right and a Judge to the left. I'm not saying buy a gun with the initial $1,000. What I'm suggesting is go put one on layaway. Okay. That way you have one, you picked out a gun that you wanted, you have it on layaway. Many pawn shops and private-owned sports stores do have layaway options. There's a lot of places on gunbroker.com that'll let you put guns on layaway. For instance, I had put that Ruger on gunbroker.com. I found a Mo Money Pawn out of Arizona and let me put it on layaway. And I paid it off a while back. So a lot of us, especially when you're trying to stretch that $1,000, go pick out a gun that you want and put it on layaway. That way you have one picked out, and you just make payments as you make payments to yourself to continue your journey in prepping. Now, the gun to the left, I highly recommend to beginning preppers. And a lot of people will argue with me on this, but I will give you my rationale. Okay. I'm a nurse. I work nights. And my wife is very unfamiliar with guns. So the Judge will shoot a 410 round buckshot or a 45 long Colt. So you get the best of both worlds. If you're, for home protection, you get that little bit of that shotgun spread. You just point and click. But it also gives you a more accurate round with a 45 long Colt. And being a revolver, if you're not very familiar with pistols, a revolver is always a good way to start. Okay? That's my suggestion, guys. I'm getting up on my 10 minutes here, so I need to get off. But, just a setup like this. Well, guys, thank y'all for listening. Y'all have a fine Navy day.